Have you ever been in a legally confusing situation and weren't sure what to do? Those days are over. Listen to Sabi Law on the Beat 97 ABJ to know what's up. Sabi Law is up every Monday, Wednesday and Friday from 8:55 a.m. Exclusive to the Beat 97 ABJ.
Hello Abuja, good morning and welcome to Sabi Law on the Beat. It's time to know what's legal. We had initially told you that it's state high courts that have jurisdiction to entertain cases of land disputes and payment and non-payment of compensations. Today, we want to look at the courts that have the power to determine the adequacy of the compensation to be paid.
Although you can go to court to make troubles that you have not been paid compensation by government. First of all, let me also state that all lands in Nigeria is vested on the governors of the respective governors in the 36 states. So for any land you're occupying today, you are not owning it. You are not the owner. You are a mere occupier. And if you have a CFO, your CFO will even tell you the duration of your occupation for 99 years and all. That's why you keep paying the ground rent and even the tenement rates and all those. So if for any reason government wakes up and takes over the land, government is supposed to pay compensation. But note this, government does not pay compensation for land taken. Government only pays compensation for development on the land it took from occupiers. So if you got a land from government and you left it empty without developing it, putting any building, structures, plants and artifact or graves or anything, once government takes it over, government will not pay you because the land originally belongs to government, Now, if for any reason you have been paid compensation, and like that is really what happens a lot, you may have a property, the land is worth 15 million. You have built a structure, let's say a bungalow, and the bungalow was assessed to be 22 million. That means government will not pay you the 15 million of the land. What government will pay you is the 22 million that is the worth of your property, your building, your development on that land. But at times you find out that when you're about receiving the payment, you receive maybe instead of the 22 million for the development, government pays you 2 million. You have waited, you have written, nothing is coming. That means government is owing you 20 million. Now the question is, can you go to court? No. When issues of adequacy of compensation comes into life, that is, you are not contesting that government did not pay you compensation. Rather, your argument is that adequate compensation was not paid. The Land Use Act is saying that at that point you cannot go to court. Well, there is a little twist to this, and the twist is that although the Land Use Act says so, the Constitution says that every dispute, every matter that is an issue, every issue of dispute whatsoever in Nigeria can be brought before a court. So although the Land Use Act is saying that issues of adequacy of compensation cannot be brought before any court in Nigeria, the Constitution says something else. The Constitution is saying that any issue whatsoever can be brought before a court, and any law that is inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of that inconsistency. That means that any law that is inconsistent, that is contradictory to the Constitution, that particular part of that law that contradicts the Constitution is invalid. So the argument of whether you can go to court to challenge the adequacy of compensation or not is no longer an issue. The land user said you cannot, but the Constitution says you can, and that's what it should be. So the government, before taking over any land by force, compulsorily, the government must give adequate notice to the persons in occupation of such land. The authority for this is Section 28, Sub 4 of the Land Use Act of 1978.
Despite the governor being the owner of the land, within your 99 years of occupancy, he cannot compulsorily acquire the land for overriding public interest without issuing you a valid notice. He has to give you a notice, and of course it has to be for overriding public interest, right? Yes. Now you know what's legal. Keep doing the right things. Now you sabi law. Do only the right thing.
Go sabi law.
And that was Sabi Law on the Beat 97 ABJ.